Hey everyone. You may have noticed recently that our chat has been a little quieter. And there's been a hole in the channel. And it is with great personal sadness that I share with you that our amazing moderator, Jay, has left us for a better place. Jay was absolutely amazing. Like many of us that are on here all day, she battled chronic illness because, most people with full-time jobs don't have the luxury of sitting on YouTube all day. And if you do, more power to you. She worked, though, and she moderated multiple channels, and she did it like a rock star with such a positive attitude and so much strength for everything she overcame. And I just want everyone to know how truly awesome she was. And with that, let's go to court.
Okay, good. We're getting everybody back here. Give it just a moment. There we go. Okay, this is number 11. Mom, Dad, we're going to go forward today and see if at least we can get a temporary order in place. We'll see where we get, okay? If I could get you both to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you both. You put your hands down. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Dolly.
The parties are in agreement to conservatorship and the standard possession order.
What about conservatorship?
Joint managing conservatorship with Miss Sterling as the primary.
Okay.
The issue of retroactive child support, we'd like to reserve
Back up. What about visitation?
Uh, yes, the standard possession and visitation schedule.
For parties that live.
For parties that live over 100 miles apart.
Okay.
The issue of retroactive child support, we'd like to reserve for final hearing. And the issue that we were unable to agree on today was the child support amount.
And can you tell me about the health insurance?
Yes. Currently, the child, neither parent has access to private medical insurance, so the child will need to be on government health care.
And that's not the situation yet?
That is the situation.
Okay.
Today.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
The state will call Mr. Hillard. Mr. Hillard, can you please state your full name?
Joshua Hillard.
Mr. Hillard, where do you currently reside?
4800 Lanao Drive, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
And what is the name of the child in this case?
Chandler Janice Hillard.
You signed did you sign an acknowledgement of paternity?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever live in the same household as the child?
I guess you mean like live with her mother and her? The answer is no. No, sir.
Okay. And how old is the child?
She'll be 4 in December 14th.
Okay. Where do you work right now?
I'm currently unemployed.
When did your unemployment begin?
It was the middle of the month. I think it was the 17th or 18th. When I resigned, I'm preparing to take the bar exam. I've taken it about 3 times. Have been able to work and pass it. So it's kind of crunch time. The next one's in February. I was 11 points off in July and just want to take some time to kind of fully focus. I've worked through law school, had a daughter in law school, COVID, all these different things have occurred throughout the time. And it's just been tough to manage all of those things at once and try to pass the bar exam. So just I've had some friends kind of reach out and agree to help me. Different lawyers I'm working with now kind of supplement me during that time and kind of help me
Understood.
to get over the hump. So
understood. how long do you when do you plan on resuming employment?
After the bar results, so whenever I can get that pass, I and look forward to doing that. And even if there's something after the test, working after that time, but really want to get into the career. So I would say maybe the results come out 6 weeks after the test. That's mid-April. So I would say May, the beginning of May. That's what I'm looking at.
So by May, you anticipate resuming employment.
Yes, sir.
Let's back up. So, are you taking Oklahoma bar?
It's the UBE, so it's depending on the score. It'll be Texas, wherever, depending on what score I get. Oklahoma's the 260, but Texas 270. Other places is that. So yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, if you take it in February, when will those results be back?
I believe it's 6 weeks exactly from the date. So I haven't calculated it, but probably like April 12th if I look at the calendar, but it's 6 weeks after
Okay.
the last day of the exam.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Abdali.
Sure. So, Mr. Hiller, do you have any income at this time?
I do not.
Okay. So, based on a calculation of if you were earning minimum wage, that would come out to $210 per month for child support. Is that something you can afford?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it would come out to, because the child would be on government health care, the cash medical support obligation would be $110. Is that something that you can afford?
Yes, sir.
No more questions. The state passes the witness.
And so, Dad, everything regarding conservatorship, visitation, and the health insurance being carried by the state, you're in agreement to those provisions.
I did have one question on the visitation. I'm not sure what it is, the standard. I'm not sure what that is. So I'd like to know, I guess, exactly what I'd be agreeing to with that.
You would get either first, third, and fifth weekends, which is
Okay.
standard in Texas,
Okay.
or one weekend a month of your choice.
Okay.
So you would have the option to do either way, because sometimes it's just not practical for people to come first, third, and fifth
Ab-
weekend.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much for clearing that up. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And there's some provisions, like if you're going to pick a weekend, there's certain days you got to do it by so many days before and stuff. It'll all be in the paperwork though. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
go ahead, Mr. Abdali.
The state calls Miss Sterling. Miss Sterling, can you please state your full name?
Yes, Jasmine Sterling.
Miss Sterling, first of all, are you in agreement with joint managing conservatorship with Mr. Hillard, with you being the primary?
Yes.
Okay. And
I did have a question though regarding the first, third, and fifth weekend, or him selecting his weekend. Is that previously we've had our own private agreement that worked really well for us, which I'm fine if that's
You can do whatever you want, but if you don't agree, this court order will rule.
well, okay. As far as it ruling, is that him coming to take possession of her, or am I having to meet him halfway? What does that look like?
Okay, so Mr. Abdali didn't discuss any of this?
No.
Okay, so normally it would be Dad picking up and dropping off from your home.
Got it.
Okay, you guys can agree to something else, anything you want, but if you don't agree, this court order will, dictate what the rules
Got it.
are. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Abdali.
Ms. Sterling, as I mentioned earlier, based on Mr. Hillard's current employment situation, I mentioned that the statutory calculation of his child support obligation will be $210 a month based on minimum wage. Are you in agreement with that?
No.
Can you explain why?
Yes. I know that arrangement came to just his testimony on not being employed. When I asked, what was, I guess, the burden of proof for that, he told me it was just his testimony. And so that's something that I don't think should be
Mom, do
just.
you have any evidence of what Dad's making?
I know I have evidence of what he's been paying me. So he's been paying me $1,000 a month, all year, every month at the beginning of the month. And so for me to go from receiving $1,000 a month and him not being employed is news to me. Him not passing the bar, again, news to me. These are all things that I think
So,
he
Mom,
should have.
you may want to talk to an attorney about that.
Yeah.
Okay, just because it's news to you doesn't doesn't help me calculate child support. If I've
Okay.
got
So in regards to the $1,000 a month, I can submit proof of that.
okay. So he's been giving you $1,000 a month for how many months?
We are in the 10th month, his 11th month, excuse me. His last payment was just November 3rd.
Okay, so for 11 months. So you're going to give him credit for $1,000 times 11 months toward the retroactive support?
Uh, yeah, I can give credit for beyond that as well.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Abdali.
Ms. Sterling, what would you like to see the court rule today with respect to child support?
I know that you mentioned I can submit a, I don't know what you called it, but some sort of amendment going forward in regards to when he becomes employed again. Um, I don't know if we don't have that line of communication now. I'm not really sure how that would be favorable in the future for me in regards to seeking more.
Okay, you need to talk to an
Uh,
attorney about that. We can't answer your questions regarding that. So,
Okay.
Mr. Abdali, what's the question?
uh, what would you, Ms. Sterling, what would you like to see the court rule today with respect to current child support obligation?
What he's been paying me all year, which is $1,000 a month.
Okay. And do you have access to provide private medical insurance for the child?
She's on Medicaid. She has supplemental Medicaid that I've always had for her.
Okay. Um, no more questions to stay past the witness.
Okay, we're going to do a temporary order today. And Mr. Abdali, I'm going to ask you to calculate the child support, giving dad credit, ordering him to pay $50 a month beginning December 1st to the state for the medical reimbursement, and then give me a child support amount based on that.
I'm sorry, you're saying that $50 a month for the cash medical support?
Yes. And so what will that make child support be?
$221.
Okay, 221. Okay, I'm gonna accept and approve the portions of the agreement that the parties have agreed to. There'll be joint managing conservators, with mom being the primary joint managing conservator. Visitation for parties that live over 100 miles. Mom to continue to cover the child on health care through the state. Dad to reimburse $50 a month to the state beginning December 1st. Dad to pay child support to mom of $221 beginning December the 1st. Dad is going to be ordered to, when we come back, to bring his 2023 and 2024 tax returns and all attachments.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Dad, this is a temporary order. So I do not anticipate this low number to last. Okay.
No, Your Honor. Yeah, Your Honor. I've never shied away from.
Uh, uh, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back. So, Dad, the minute the bar exam's over, pass or fail, or you're not going to know yet. You need to have a job. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Get to be a better job after you do pass, but you need to have a job the minute you're done taking the bar exam.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we're going to come back. We're going to come back March the 20th. And I'll just warn you now, we're just going to see how things are going and see what the situation is with the money. If Dad has passed the bar exam, but not yet got a legal job, or if he doesn't have his results back yet, it may be that I don't finalize this, because if dad passes the bar exam, he's going to make a lot more money probably than he's going to be able to without having passed it. So we may up it based on whatever clerking or whatever he's able to get after he finishes taking the bar exam. But we'll come back by Zoom on March the 20th. Could the parties do 1 o'clock on that day?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so March the 20th at 1, come back by Zoom. The Attorney General's office is going to send you a new Zoom code for that day. So Zoom in the way you did today, but it'll be a different code for that day. I'm going to ask Mr. Abdali to draft up the temporary orders, send those to me, and I'll sign them. And once I sign them, the Attorney General's office will send both of you a copy of the temporary orders, and they'll have all the visitation schedule and everything in there. But
Thank you.
like Mom asked before, anything you guys agree to do, you can agree. And you can just keep doing that until you get the paperwork, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Abdali, need anything else for Mom or Dad?
Not at this time.
Okay, then you're both free to go. Just hit that button that says leave or leave meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm curious what your opinions are. Do you think that it's reasonable for dad to reduce the amount of money he's paying for his child for 3-4 months so that he can do something that's going to better himself for the long term? Catch 22. Tell me what you think in the comments. And while you're in the comments section, right above it is that like button. Next to the like button is the share button. Do that. Help me get back in the algorithm's good graces, because it is mad at me for all the time that I took off because of the hurricanes. I need to get my numbers back up. And as a reward for helping me do that, I have some amazing prize packs to give away. I'm going to post pictures of them soon. I'm putting some final touches on them. In the comments, hashtag Meg's back so that I can pull your name out. But like it, share it, tell a friend, tell your neighbor's hairdresser's gardener. And take a moment and remember Jay. Because internet friends are still friends, and sometimes a random person on the internet can really make an impact on your life. Take care, everyone. Till next time.